guys, and welcome back to Cheap and Green. Am I the only one that has that horrible cupboard or closet where you just stuff everything in? There's no organization. There's a whole bunch of things that you don't remember are in there that you're never going to be able to use because if you try and get something else will fall on you. Yeah, that's the kind of cupboard I have.
So here's the secret embarrassing corner. This is it. It's awful. Everything is just stuffed in here. You can't get anything out without things falling. There's some stuff that's gotten broken. It's really dark in here, sorry. That candle, broken since it's been in here. Every little piece of flotsam, don't know what to do with. My daughter's lunch bags, everything in here, recipes. Just no organization. It's terrible. So here it is now, emptied. It looks like there's a ton of space in there, doesn't it? It's just not particularly useful because the entryway is so narrow. So you kind of have to almost crawl right in to get anything from the back. And here's what came out. Toaster oven that needs a cleaning. There's a pile of serving dishes and platters here. Laundry basket of flotsam and jetsam, I suppose. And my poor coffee table stacked with everything else, including batteries and screwdrivers and markers. How that stuff all ends up in that cubby, I don't know. But yeah, like how many sets of fondue forks do I have?
Although I have big plans for this cupboard, I want to install a Lazy Susan that I picked up at the Restore for $20. Step one is always to purge, right? And there's so much stuff in there that I probably haven't used in 10 years. I have no intention of using it because it's just been stuffed in the back there. So this is what I plan to get rid of. So here's the collection of stuff that's going to go to Goodwill. It's stuff that I've decided I don't need anymore, but it's still useful and other people might be able to use it even if, I'm done with it. I probably have about 6 of these Christmas themed cookie tins. Now, I don't know about your house, but in my house, we do not store cookies long enough for me to ever need 6 tins. I mean, they're pretty much make the cookies, eat the cookies, we're done, right? So these ones are going to go. Everybody probably has a fondue pot somewhere in their cupboards. I used to have several of them. This is the last one. But my husband is lactose intolerant, and I just can't imagine us having a fondue. And the thing is, I'll go to Goodwill and I'll pick up a fondue pot for $5 if we ever decide that we're going to have fondue night. This is a gigantic platter. I mean, look at the size of this. It's massive. I think it actually was my grandparents', but anyway, I don't have any special sort of emotional attachment to it, and I have another platter from my grandparents that we use, so I think that this one is going to be passed along. This is a really nice poinsettia Christmas platter, and I have used it, but I have so many of these. I probably have, 10, and I just don't really need a Christmas themed one when I can use a white one or another one. So this one I think I'll pass along. My mom made this cute bowl. We all actually went out at one of those clay cafes and made bowls, but she doesn't want this anymore and I don't really have use for it, so maybe somebody else will. And a bunch of plastic stuff. We don't drink a lot of milk because my husband's lactose intolerant, so we get cartons, so this can go. And these are sort of semi-sentimental, but it's time that they were passed along. And here's just some more junk. There's a whole ton of markers and pencils in here. I'm really not sure why they ended up in the kitchen cabinet, but we really don't need this many. And a cheese cutter, I have another one. These things seem to breed in our cupboards. I have a whole set of nesting ones. I don't really need that one as well. And, you know, honestly, I don't use this cookbook at all. Didn't even remember I had it. So I think it's just time it went. So here we are in my dungeon of a basement. Sorry about the lighting. And this is where I keep the stuff that's going to go out to my antique booth. So part of the stuff that we pulled out of that corner cupboard was actually vintage and antique. And I'll show you what I'm going to let go. These are vintage cookbooks, and they're sort of interesting, but again, we don't really use them. Often I just go online if I want a recipe. So I'll pass those along in the booth. Small silver dish. This one was hard to let go. I don't know where it came from. It's really beautiful, but I don't use it. So I think it's time that it just went to a new home. More serving dishes. Beautiful silver tray with little feet on it. These are cork-backed placemats. This matches the set Country Roses, Old Country Roses, and my mom doesn't want them anymore. So they can go, and then there's another set under here, which are just floral, and they're very pretty, but I don't need them. And here's more. This has actually been in my family for a really long time. It's kind of hard to get rid of it because it's very familiar, but we don't use it. I don't really feel comfortable using it because it's, you know, it's getting ruined. So I think I might let go of this. These are 2 small serving plates, little hearts on them, really cute. Time for them to move on. And another platter. And pickle dishes. Pickle dishes from my grandmother, which I don't think that I have ever used. Really pretty. Not really my thing, but somebody else will enjoy them. A whole set of these vintage steak knives. I don't know if this was like a gas station promotion or whatever, but I remember these in my house when I was growing up. So they've been around a long time. I don't know if somebody will want them or not, but we'll give it a whirl. All of that stuff is going to leave my house and move on and hopefully be useful for somebody else. But honestly, I probably won't miss it. I didn't even know I had some of it. Crazy. And hopefully that cupboard will move towards its new purpose of actually being useful storage. The Lazy Susan installation will happen at a later date because it's proving to be somewhat trickier than we expected. So I'll have to show you the finished cabinet with the installation in another video coming up. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any cheap and green in the future. I'll see you next time.